So you're a compulsive liar and you want to learn how to stop, or you want to try to tell the truth more, but you're really struggling to do that. Where do you start? This is where you start. You start with exaggeration. What do you mean, Chris? This is what I mean. Most people who lie, if not every person who lies, are also compulsive exaggerators, right? Now, the reason why anyone exaggerates is because at that point in time, with whatever the story it is they're telling or recalling or saying to someone, they're trying to look better than what they are. Why is that? Number one, it's a lack of self-love at its absolute core. Without getting stuck on that particular frequency and focusing more on the practicality of how to overcome this, every time you go to exaggerate, you know that there's an element of lying within that story that you're retelling, right? So rather than just getting caught up in making yourself look bigger and getting caught in the feeling of that, instead, choose to go, actually, I'm trying to make myself out to be bigger or better than what I am here. The reason for that, like I said, is a lack of self-love. But you need to catch yourself at that point in time and choose to go, I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to tell the truth. This is how you start building momentum around being a more truthful person, a more self-accepting person, and a self-loving person. Because really, you're giving power to the person you're speaking to because you need or you want to look a certain way in their eyes, and you think by saying this exaggeration is going to help you achieve that. But what you're doing is building momentum against you being a truthful person. And that's ultimately what everybody can feel. All right? I remember as a young kid growing up, when I sort of had, self-love issues, self-acceptance issues, I was a footballer growing up. I could have a game where, let's say a really good game and I maybe had 40 and kicked 2 or 3 goals. I'd tell people I had 45 and kicked 4 goals. Do you see how that exaggeration is so small that it's not worth actually mentioning, but in my head it was, because I was so concerned around my perception looking better than what I actually was. That was me having a good game. What if I had a bad game? And I'd say 10 or 15 touches, something like that. Couldn't get near it, whatever. This is a sporting example. I'd turn around and say I had more, or it doesn't matter whether you had a bad game or a good game. I was always trying to add more. As a young kid, that's what I did. You'd know in your life how you do this and where you do it, If this makes sense to you, this is how you can start to stop lying. Now, it's really hard to just go from being a lying person to a truthful person with the click of a finger, because you've obviously become that in a long time. But if there is an urge within you to start telling the truth and start expressing yourself with who you actually are and where you're actually at, and allowing the reflections of other people to be your chance to improve your alignment and your self-expression from a truthful nature, this is the perfect place to start, because every single human I know has somewhere, somehow exaggerated something to look better than what they were or what the situation was. But the compulsive liars are the people who do it often. This is the secret ingredient that we don't address, that's actually continuing the pattern of lying and making it something we just become okay with and accept. Start with catching yourself every time you go to exaggerate and choose not to. When I was learning this and I was overcoming this many years ago, I would still exaggerate, but I'd catch myself in the moment I was exaggerating, and I would actually say out aloud, even to the person that I just exaggerated to hold myself accountable, sorry, I exaggerated. Truth is this. You do not know how good that feels. You think it looks stupid because you've lied to someone and indirectly said to them you're lying? No. They'll have more respect for you, and you'll have more respect for yourself. Catch yourself exaggerating, call yourself out on your own bullshit. Everything changes really fast when you do that.